I think it's such bullshit. I think it is such bullshit. And the whole time I was watching it, I was thinking, he's a liar, and I feel really bad for his wife, Nina. Welcome back to the channel. I've missed you. It's been a while. I think it's been like 2 weeks since we had a moment together. And I was thinking, what's the best way to re-enter the YouTube relationship with you? And I thought, how about the Ashley Madison scandal? Perfect.
Life is short, have an affair. I was like, that sounds intriguing.
Okay, so I watched the Ashley Madison documentary on Netflix, and I'm not going to get too granular as far as kind of what happened, but high level, there existed a gap in the internet dating market. There's lots of websites that help singles find their partner, but there's nobody that had the forethought to think about, well, what are all the ways that you might step out of your relationship? Enter Noel Biderman, who creates a website called Ashley Madison, or eventually called Ashley Madison, that helps people have affairs. And the sad part is, it's a good idea. The website takes off, and the documentary is about all the different ways in which this website destroyed people's lives. Eventually, it's hacked. Eventually, the destruction becomes really clear. And we want to end it by saying, and now the website is defunct and it's gone. The sad reality is I just checked and it still has 50 million users, and it has led to a bunch of other websites that are similar being created. So it's not gone. But the documentary itself I thought it was really well done. The idea of Ashley Madison is gross. So I'm trying to think about what do you care about? What do you want to know about? And I think the first question people has is, why are there so many people that are interested in having affairs? Why do people step out of their relationships? And I think that psychologists have done a really, I don't know if it's a good job or a bad job. We've done a shitty thing in that we've talked a lot about, there's a lot of media attention to, there's a lot of research done about all of the reasons why affairs happen. And in my opinion, all of those reasons essentially pull responsibility away from the cheater. So for example, they will say, you stepped out of the relationship because you didn't feel emotionally connected to your partner. Maybe your sex life was bad. Maybe you saw your parents have affairs, and so you wanted to, subconsciously duplicate that behavior. Maybe you're angry at your partner, and so you wanted to lash out at them. Maybe you hate yourself, and you wanted to sabotage your relationship. Maybe you don't believe you're good enough for your partner or your relationship, and so you wanted to sabotage it for that reason. Maybe you're bored and you wanted the excitement that comes with an affair. Maybe you don't have a strong enough self-esteem, and so you're looking for external positive feedback, and someone says you're attractive, so you engage in it. There's 1,000 reasons why we sort of justify the behavior of cheating. And I think it's really important for me to say the actual reason why people cheat is because they want to. Why you wanted to is interesting. It's good for intellectual fodder, but you did it because you wanted to. And the impact of an affair is unquestionably devastating, and I don't care what the reason is. Let me say it this way. In psychology in general, I think there is great value in insight. It is really important that you think about yourself and your behavior, and you figure out, why am I doing what I'm doing? No question. But I also think that insight, this sort of intellectual pursuit of who you are, is way overrated. What is important is that you take control of your life, regardless of why you're here, that you take control of your life and create the life you want. And when someone steps out of their relationship, when they join a website like ashleymadison.com and go engage in these extramarital affairs, on my end, I sort of don't give a shit why you did it. What I care about is you did it, and that had a real negative consequence on your relationship, on the person that you care most about. All right, I'll stop yelling about that. One of the key storylines in the Ashley Madison documentary was the story of Sam and Nia, who were the ones that had that famous YouTube video a long time ago, singing the Frozen song.
Like I've ever known before. Love is an open door.
They're like the two characters in the van. It became super popular. They then had a really popular, still have a really popular YouTube channel about their family and their Christian values. And Sam was active on Ashley Madison. And of course, while he's active on Ashley Madison, he's putting out all this Christian content and saying how much he loves his wife and his family, and that he should be someone that people are looking to as far as guiding them in their faith and how to be the head of a family. And all the while he's having this affair. Well, the Ashley Madison website is hacked and all of this information comes out. Now, before we talk about Sam and Nia, I think this is a really good segue to the sponsor for today's video, Aura. The fact that a website like Ashley Madison was hacked shows you how insecure your data is on the internet. If you do a search, if you type in your name into Google, you will find that your information is everywhere. Your full name, your address, your medical records, your relatives, it's all on the internet, and people are profiting from it, which is where Aura comes in. Aura is an identity protection service. I don't know if you saw, but even AT&T just revealed that they had over 73 million customer records released over the dark web. And in reaction to that, they recommended that those affected use strong passwords, monitor account activity, and consider credit freezes or fraud alerts from credit bureaus. It's a big deal. Now, because I have Aura, I've used Aura now for about 6 months, I wouldn't be concerned if this happened to me because all of those services are covered by Aura. And historically, I've had those services, but on different platforms from different organizations. It was really difficult to get my arms around what was happening and how my information was being cared for, and it was much more expensive. With Aura, it's all on one application, it's affordable and really easy to manage. I can't recommend them enough. Now, the best news is because you are a loyal member of the PopPsych YouTube audience, Aura is offering you a free 2-week trial. All you have to do is go to aura.com/PopPsych or click through the link below. I really recommend you try it out. Okay, back to the video. So you have Sam, who has positioned himself as a leader in the Christian faith for how to be a good husband and a good father. And it comes out that he was on the Ashley Madison website. So he finds out, he looks on his phone, there's a data breach. He finds out that people are going to know that he was on this website. And so he has no choice but to tell his wife. He tells her. I think she's upset. I know she's upset, but she sticks by him. He says, look, I didn't have any affairs. I was just dabbling. I was exploring what it would be like. I was sort of getting off by thinking about hooking up with these women. Then there's and so the family sort of recovers a little bit. Then there's another breach of data, and it comes out again that not only did Sam join the website, but he had met with all of these women. So then Sam has to come out and go, actually, it was a lot worse than that, and here are all the things that I did. Then Sam had to go into therapy and be really transparent and vulnerable and whatever. And the family stays together. There's 2 story arcs here. I think the right story arc is this is a beautiful story. You had this man who was understimulated. He didn't have, a lot of a strong sense of self-worth. He couldn't find himself, and he just, as a consequence, he fell into this Ashley Madison world. He got love and affection there, and he made some really bad decisions. But as a consequence of this data breach, he found himself. He got treatment, and now he's an upstanding father, and their family is happily ever after. I know that's the right answer. I think it's such bullshit. I think it is such bullshit. And the whole time I was watching it, I was thinking, he's a liar, and I feel really bad for his wife, Nina. It feels to me, by the way, if you watch the entire documentary, everybody that was being cheated on felt to me like they were at some level understanding of how their husbands fell into these relationships online, which I get it, right? You've one woman had her husband commit suicide. You have Nina who has a life tied to Sam. If they step out of the relationship, their whole world changes because their husbands made these bad decisions and stepped out. They now, why does their world get so disrupted? So I understand why you would stay, but God, it feels sad to me. I think it's important to say this. Sam lied at the start when he was having the affairs. He lied to his wife, he lied to the internet, and he positioned himself as someone that he was not. Then he got caught the first time. And he could have come, he could have been really transparent all the way, and he didn't. He lied again. He said, oh, I just dabbled. Then he got caught again, and then he came out and he said, okay, here's everything. And we assume he's telling the truth. I don't believe him at all. There's no reason to believe him. Past behavior is the best predictor of future behavior. And Sam lies. We know that Sam lies. But even if we say that he's telling the truth and that he really has learned and grown, I think it's important to say their relationship will never be the same. I don't care what their YouTube channel looks like. I don't care how Nina presents. There's a lot of data out there on the impact of affairs. And yes, relationships can survive affairs, but they change. Your affair changes you, it changes your partner, and it changes the quality of your relationship. And I have never, ever interacted with somebody who felt like it made the relationship better. Yes, people will say that online. Yes, Nina may say that out loud. But as an executive coach, as a therapist, I have never heard anybody that was cheated on say, oh, thank God it happened. Never. So I guess I just want to sort of reality test. What you saw there, what they're describing there is a really kind of a Pollyanna-ish view of a relationship and a family that was destroyed by Sam's behavior. Not by Ashley Madison, by Sam's behavior. Lastly, people always ask, what about the guy that founded the website? What's wrong with that guy? And I think, first of all, I've not met him. I can't diagnose somebody from afar. I can tell you what we know about him meets the diagnostic criteria in many ways to antisocial personality disorder, right? There's a complete lack of empathy. There's a total willingness to break rules and sort of moral guidelines. There's absolute comfort putting himself first and manipulating others. What he knowingly did, destroyed relationships in the lives of people for his own personal gain. So it's probably a combination of antisocial and narcissist. I don't think he totally clocks what he's doing to people, but the sense I get from the interviews he has is not, oh, I was just thinking about me and I didn't get the impact I was having. The sense I get is I know what it's doing and I don't care because I'm profiting. I think the guy's an absolute monster. And I thought it was funny in the documentary. He says, look, I never had any affairs. I value monogamy, and here's my wife here who's with me. By the way, she's still with him, but there have been many reports, and he was all over the Ashley Madison website for stepping out of their relationship. That is a man I trust zero. So anyway, that's what I thought. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, thank you to my sponsor for today's video, Aura.